We build giant corporate and government entities powered by vast amounts of personal information and expect them to be transparent machines, making our lives safer and easier.
Man arrested for not saving woman. At first it was thought that feminism was about equality between women and men. This is the propaganda that is said over and over. But this is not what is implemented. More and more actual laws are being passed that makes men responsible for women at every turn. At home, in family court, at work even, and now even when you're vacationing. You, the man, are so responsible for women that if a woman endangers her own life by her own hand, you, the man, are supposed to stop her for her own good. This isn't equal, is it? There are no parts of this that is equal. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. This video will more than likely be demonetized. If you like this sort of video, please go to patreon.com/Shakaama, donate $15 or more, and leave me a message of what type of video you would like. The more people donate, the more I can make these videos and not worry about being demonetized. So let's get into this story. And please like the video and watch the whole video. It really helps the channel. A man has been arrested on suspicion of failing to help an Irish woman who drowned in the sea off the Canary Islands. Elaine O'Donovan, 41, is comprehended to have been on vacation in Lanzarote with her folks when she kicked the bucket in the early hours of Sunday. I'm sorry for laughing. It's very serious. She was spotted gliding face down in the sea of Playa Grande in Puerto de Carmen in the southeast of the island at 4 a.m. Keep track of these times. Police said O'Donovan seemed to have gone for a swim following a night out subsequent to being spotted touching base at the well-known shoreline with a man. A civil guard representative stated around 3 a.m. on Sunday, a few witnesses saw a couple on the shoreline and detected the lady going into the water alone and the man remaining on the shore. Moments later, the woman appeared floating face down near the shore, and the man, when he saw this, left the scene without trying to help her or raise the alarm. A guard spokesman told the Irish Sun that a group of people O'Donovan arrived at the beach with a man. The spokesman said they watched from a distance as the woman entered the water by herself to swim. The man was shouting something to her from the sand, but they couldn't hear what it was. He said something to her, but the woman paid him no attention and the man left. Notice what the witnesses says versus what is reported. The next thing the other group saw was the woman floating face down in the water. Emergency services arrived and tried to resuscitate her, but they couldn't. Autopsy showed no sign of any violence, no marks, bruises, or any type of marks. Water was found in her lungs. He said police were treating the death as an accident, but couldn't say whether traces of alcohol were found in O'Donovan's body. It's understood O'Donovan was on holiday in the Canaries, an island chain off the west coast of Africa, with her parents Tommy and Pat at the time of her death. Originally from Waterford, O'Donovan had been living in London for the past 9 years, working for Mgtow Products Ltd., which supplies sanitation equipment to aid agencies. Friends also paid tribute to O'Donovan on her Facebook page as the news emerged. She was described as one of kind and a gorgeous girl with great humor. One friend wrote, "Beautiful lady inside and out, always smiling." Her funeral is expected to be held in her native Waterford in the coming days. People described seeing an object in the water and when they realized it was a woman, pulled her out and called emergency services. Before an ambulance arrived, doctors at the emergency help center gave advice over the phone to the rescuers at the scene to try to revive her. O'Donovan was reportedly had a pulse when paramedics arrived, but died shortly after. The arrested man, believed to be Moroccan, could face prosecution for being presumed author of an alleged crime of omission of the duty. He was arrested in Irishwoman on Wednesday and is said to be known to the police. The pair is believed to have just met that night. Police initially had no idea of her identity, and it took more than 24 hours to establish who she was. Officers searched the area for clues and found her purse. Money was found in her purse, and she was wearing an expensive watch, so robbery has been ruled out. The 29-year-old man helping police has only been identified by his initials, AS. Investigations are continuing. In the UK, by law, a common citizen has no duty to save another citizen. In the United States, police have no duty to save you. Remember the left beating several Trump supporters while police stood and watched, with the Trump supporters actually calling to the police for help? I wouldn't have let them beat me, but when Trump supporters defend themselves, police are quick to step in and arrest a Trump supporter because we can't have you defending yourself. Yes, police are scum, especially in California. But the Supreme Court itself has said no one in the United States, including police, have a duty to rescue nor protect you. In the UK, however, they go a little bit further and put some logic to it. A teacher, a lifeguard, a policeman do have a duty to protect you in their capacity. You wouldn't have a female teacher abusing her students in the UK like you do in the United States, where even the parents turn a blind eye to a kid being traumatized for the rest of his life by a female teacher. I'm not bitter. But for the rest of Europe, everyone has a duty to save everyone. It's crazy over there. Let's look at this. A man told a woman to be careful. Come back. She ignored him. He left, and she drowned. Now, why exactly was he arrested? We have no evidence that he was responsible for this grown woman. He was not a lifeguard nor a police. In fact, why weren't all of the observers arrested? In fact, at the time of the drowning, the man had left the scene already and could not have saved her. Women listening to me, should men be responsible for women? Or better yet, should women be responsible for men? It's called agency. You hold a child's hand because the child has no agency to understand that cars will hit it, to understand that walking on cliffs is dangerous, that eating poison is dangerous. The child has no agency. But a grown woman has agency. Grown women have the responsibility to protect their own lives. No one else has that responsibility. In the final episode of Seinfeld, the group was arrested and thrown in jail because a fat man was robbed and mugged right in front of them as they stood and watched and made fun of his fatness. Morality has no place in a court of law. A court of law is a court of law, not morality. Something feminism has had a devastating effect on. Under morality, a man is responsible for a woman, as if she were a child. Feminism wants this to be the law, while screaming they want to be equal. They do not want to be equal, no more than I want to be a sea slug. And the more feminism screams about equality, the more they bring the moral imperative to a courtroom that a man should be responsible for a grown woman. As if she were a child, the law is already that she is equal to a man. Feminism doesn't want this. Also, what point does it serve to throw a man in jail for women drowning themselves? Criminal punishment is supposed to persuade people to not do something. In this case, there's nothing this man who had walked away while she was perfectly alive could not have done. Also, we don't know if the man could even swim. Is the court saying that men should drown themselves for women? That's both immoral and illegal. We throw people in jail for attempting to take their lives too. Feminism is wrong and is leading the world down the wrong path. Remember, morality at the end of the day lays the burden at the feet of a man to be responsible for the world. You can't be feminist and scream for morality. You either want equal treatment under the law or not at all. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show. Be sure to like the video. And like I said, if you want these videos, please donate at patreon.com/Shakaama. They are literally going to take down all channels that even mention feminism in the future. It's coming. Thank you for watching.